Welcome to Warminster Connect. I'm your host, Jason Crowley. Tonight is Halloween, and joining me, hopefully for not too scary of an appearance, are the Republican candidates for Warminster Township Supervisor, VItaliy Velenchuk and Bob Guarini. Gentlemen, welcome back to the podcast.
Thanks for
Thanks for
having
having
us, Jason. Thank you.
I had been talking to you both over the course of the past month. You both had shown up on this podcast separately. And now that we're approaching the election day, I wanted to just take a few minutes and sort of get the temperature of how you're feeling, what you're hearing, and sort of get a preview of what you're expecting on election day. So to kick it off, gentlemen, what are you hearing when you're out at the doors with just days to go before the election?
Most of the concerns that's speeding over the Warminster, most of them, doesn't matter what district we are, but the people saying a lot of people speeding, so that needs to be fixed. We need to improve that, and that's the most one.
Yeah, I think that's the one that we heard the most while we were door knocking, which we've been doing since May, and we have heard that a lot. That's a lot of the residents have been complaining about that, so I would agree with you on that one.
Something that came up recently on social media just in the last couple of days really has been water bills.
Oof.
Now, I haven't had the courage to go and look at my water bill yet, but I know that others have, and they're reporting $600-700 water bills, double what they used to be. Have you heard anything from voters? Have you experienced anything about our water rates increasing?
Yes, I have, and I just opened my water bill, and it's somewhere around $680. I don't remember the exact number, but it's close to that $700 threshold of what we're hearing from other residents, whether it be at the door or on social media. That is a hot topic right now. And I think one of the concerning things that I would like to shed some light on is the fact that, regarding your water bill, things that residents might not know is, Ken Hayes, the current chair of the Warminster Board of Supervisors, sits on the Board of Supervisors, as well as, his full term sat on the WMA's board as treasurer. Now, to me, that blurs the line of ethics, and here's why. He was in the decision-making to sell the water authority. Then he sits on the board that sets the prices that he charges to residents. Now, who's got the oversight on that? We don't as residents because we sold it. So, as you open your water bill up and you look at it and you see how big it is, there's a commonality there from the Board of Supervisors and the board on the WMA, and that's Ken Hayes. So, it's just out of control. What they're charging us is just crazy. People their jaws are dropping when they're getting their water bills. So, Warminster, next time you open your water bill and you see how big it is, say thank you, Ken Hayes.
And
To go ahead, Vitaly, I'm sorry.
And I think this is the best opportunity this November 4th to change that, because current board, they doesn't want to listen. That's another concerns. People saying when we call into the township, no response. Animal control, no response. That's the bottom line. So this coming election, this is time to change that. You want to have a board of supervisors who's going to listen to you, and who's going to, when we're going to make the decision that based on your concerns.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Moving on. Another thing I wanted to ask you both about was election day itself. On a separate podcast, I was reporting the numbers from Bucks County Board of Elections.
Mm-hmm.
Currently, there's about 89,000 mail-in applications that have been requested as of October 28th.
Right.
Of those mail-ins, I believe 52,000 of them are Democrat requests. 27,000 are Republican requests. Just under 10,000 are independents. If you split the independents 50-50, now it's unlikely they'd split right down the middle, but it's just for the sake of argument, break them up 50-50. You have the Democratic candidates, your opponents, going into election day with a 2-to-1 advantage before the polls even open on the 4th. How are you combating that advantage that they have? What are you guys doing to hopefully drive up your turnout on election day?
We, VItaliy and I and Ron and all the candidates, Gene Lyle, who's running for tax collector, we have been working so hard. We have been knocking on door after door after door since May, talking to the people face to face. We're not sending mailers out. We're, not relying on social media. We are interacting face to face with the voter. So we're trying to get that message across to them that, we open the polls behind. We need you. And a lot of voters have said to me, why do we lose? Why do we always lose, Republicans? And I said, it's turnout. We need turnout the day of the election. You need to talk to your friends. Yeah, you vote, but do your neighbors next door show up at the polls? We need everybody to come out and vote on election day. Period. We need turnout. Now we've bridged that gap very nicely. We've cut that disparity pretty good in half almost, but we're still behind. So, we've just been working very hard, beating the pavement, and we've been asking people for turnout. Talk to your friends, bring your friends, come together. So that's one of the ways that we've been doing it.
Yeah, I think this is like people needs to understand. We all need to understand how important is a local election, because it's really affecting us as a residents of Warminster.
Yeah.
And based on that, like when you make your decision, this is the time. This is the time, November 4th, because after that, there is no reason to complain. We have chance to vote. This is our opportunity as a citizens, and I'm proud to vote this election. So please, it's really important.
I think too, Jason, one of the things I've been trying to stress, I don't care about party lines. I don't care what political affiliation you have. If I'm elected and VItaliy elected, and I know he feels the same exact way as I do.
Yes, I am.
We're going to fight for the resident of Warminster, not the Democrats of Warminster, not the independents of Warminster, not the Republicans of Warminster. We are going to fight for the residents of Warminster. And, and we're not doing this, for vision or financial gain. Both of us are doing this because we truly care about this community. So, that's what we've been trying to really push at the doors. We need turnout, and we're going to be fair and just. So hopefully we've done enough to get the people to come out to the polls. Obviously time will tell, but the response and engagement by the residents have been tremendous this year. I mean, not just coming out and saying, hi, thank you for your door knocker. They've been asking questions. They've been getting involved. It's been really refreshing, and it's helping VItaliy and I, because we're exhausted. You know what I mean? Since May, we've been pounding the doors. We're both trying to be family men. We're both trying to cover, working during the day, but we are out every night hitting doors on the weekends, going to events, shooting podcasts. And when the resident is that engaging, it kind of just fuels the tank, because you really want to respond for them. So, that's been great. And hopefully, as I said, hitting the pavement, knocking on them doors, and face to face, actually speaking with the resident, has done enough to get everybody to just provide the turnout and come out and vote on November 4th. So it's been awesome.
Well, I appreciate you both giving me this time today. I have one last question before we go greet all the trick-or-treaters that'll be coming by very shortly. And it's really an observation that's based off of having the opportunity to talk to you both on this podcast, and then also, Bob, a discussion that we were having recently, which is that you two gentlemen, while very dissimilar in many ways, height, background, country of origin,
Yeah.
you share quite a bit in common. And it's really an interesting comparison when you make it. Two people from two different worlds can really share the values that you both do. Could you elaborate a little bit more? Share some of what you shared with me with the audience.
I would love to, because it's incredible to me. Vitaly was raised, as you said, an ocean away, 5,000 miles away, in a different country with a different culture. I was raised right here in Warminster, but yet, as if we been hanging out a lot together and talking and sharing ideas, and hey, how are we going to do this? What do you think we should do when we get in? Not if we get in, when we get in, and just talking about families and things. It is unbelievable how much alike we are. I mean, his family has embraced me, my family has embraced him, and I've gone to service at his church with him a couple times, and it's just crazy how much our families are so similar, being separated by an ocean, being raised. And I know Vitaly wants the same exact things that I want for Warminster. I grew up and was born, raised in Warminster, raised my family in Warminster. My son owns a house in Warminster. Like, I got skin in the game, and so does Vitaly. Not that I'm taking that away from him, but the man has such a strong sense of wanting to help others and make this township better, just as much as I do, and I've lived here my whole life. So, I often said, no matter what the results on November 4th are, I've gained a brother. I mean, this man is incredible, and I just,
Here.
we've kind of held each other up, when I could tell he was down, I'd call him and say, hey, you okay? And he's done the same for me, because we're both exhausted. I'm not going to, candy cone anything here. We're tired. And we're looking forward to November 5th, and hopefully, I think we're going to be victorious. But it's just amazing to me how similar we are, not only with our beliefs, but the way our families interact and things of that nature. So, yeah, it's been an honor. It's an honor to stand by him. It will be an honor to work with him. So, yeah, I'm glad you asked me that question, because it means a lot to me, that I have the friendship I forged with this man right here. So.
It's interesting, even when during this summer when we was door knocking and we walking together, and we have a lot of ideas like how we're gonna improve the Warminster. I was saying like we can have more lighting, because it's not that safe after work when you're trying to walk with the dogs, or like with the family. Like we have to improve that, make sure people feel safe, make sure we have enough lights. And then we was telling we have beautiful Warminster Park, and Bob just has idea like how about if we can have more some events for the Warminster residents, like how to get together, like used to with this is like great opportunity, a lot of good ideas, and we trying to improve on a lot of stuff for the Warminster residents.
Yeah, we need to give back to the residents as the governing body, I think. And I think we need to pay a little more attention to what their concerns are. Now, look, I'm a realist. Sometimes we're not going to be able to fix everything, but we're going to listen and we're going to do our best. Sometimes the answer might be no, but we're going to be there face to face to explain why that answer was no. I think that's the big difference. I think a lot of our residents are silenced here, and they don't feel like they have a voice. So that's one of the things we definitely want to bring back. But yeah, we, door knocking, we really do. We have so many similar ideas and thoughts in the direction this township wants to go. It's just amazing. It's amazing.
So as a final, I would like to ask Warminster resident, just put a little bit of trust in those two gentlemen,
Yes.
and we'll take care of you.
And turn out the vote.
Well, Bob, Vitaly, thank you for taking the time to speak with me today. I wish you well on November 4th, and I'm sure we'll talk afterwards. And best of luck and best wishes to both of you and your families.
Well, happy Halloween, and
Thank
thank
you.
you, Jason.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks.
Thank you.